I actually forgot that happened until you until you brought that up. I was really frustrated with myself, and then the sound wasn't working on any of them because you get some parents, oh, I don't understand how social media works. Like that's not you need to learn. What if you messed up? Like what if you're the one person that has to send everybody back? It took us like 8 to 10 minutes to get to Wainwright's. It was way longer than it should have been. Oh my goodness. Oh, right. So
Hi, Amelie. My name is Chris, and I host a show called Once and Always a Fanboy. It's really awesome to speak with you today, so thank you so much for your time.
yeah, thank you for having me.
First of all, congratulations to you and the entire Adolescence team for such an amazing piece of television. And this being your first acting credit must feel so rewarding for you. Can you share how you got to be part of this project?
Yeah, so I originally went to this local drama school near where I live, and they were also an agency. And so then I know that when they were looking for, especially all the kids or the child actors for all the child roles, they were looking for kids with like not a lot of experience or less experience because just like it brings that kind of like freshness to it, I guess. So then that casting call went kind of just straight across like a whole wide area. So I ended up getting that audition for Lisa. So then I auditioned for it, and then actually I was really frustrated with myself because recording self-tapes, like they take a long time. So you record them like over and over and over again, then you go back and you pick the ones that you like, then you edit them together, then you send them off. So then I did all of mine, spent like an hour and a half doing it all, and then I went back to go pick the ones that I liked. And then the sound wasn't working on any of them. So then I was so frustrated. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it one more time, send it off. So I did that, and then that's the one that I got recalled on. So then, like the following weekend, I got recalled in Leeds. Whereas when I met like Joe, the producer, and Phil for the first time, I met all them for the first time. Did that recall. That recall went really well. They made me really comfortable. It was great. And then, like a week after that, they asked me to come and meet the team down at Production Park down in Pontefract, which I did. And I did a chemistry read with Christine Tramaco, and she was lovely. She was amazing, and that all went well. And then basically a couple of days after that, I got the call saying that I got the part, and it was great.
That's so cool. So since you said you went to this like drama school, acting has always been like a passion of yours. Like prior to Adolescence, you would be acting on stage or shooting short films.
I've definitely always been in kind of like the creative area. So, I like to paint, I like to sing, I like to act, I like to do all that stuff. So I think I joined this little improv group when I was like 9. And then just from that point on, that was like my thing. That's what I loved to do. And I've always taken part in like school shows at school and things like that. And then I do film studies as a subject for one of my A levels. So, like I got to be in some other people's films for that, and I made my own. And yeah, I've just always really performing's kind of just been my thing. So I've always really, really enjoyed that. And then for this to be like a first job for me was incredible.
Can you give us an idea of how your life was like the week leading up to your first day on set? I mean, not only was this your first major acting job and you were acting alongside actors like Stephen Graham, but they told you that all the episodes would be shot in one continuous take. Are you good in keeping calm or and focusing, or were you nervous, which I don't blame you?
I guess it was a bit of both because obviously coming up to filming for the first time, I'd met everyone. I'd gone for costume fittings. I obviously had my chemistry read like a little bit before that thing. So I'd met Christine, I'd met most people. I'd been to Production Park a couple of times already. So in terms of meeting everyone and getting comfortable with them, that was already like that was done. So I was really excited to just like get working with everyone. But then when it comes to the one shot thing, you just have like no, because so many people have asked me about the one shot take kind of situation, because then everyone's always said to me like, well, what if you messed up? Like what if you're the one person that has to send everybody back? And then I was thinking about that, and I was like, well, surely, because obviously how I said I like to do like theatre and like productions and things like that, it's kind of just like a play in the way that if you mess up or if you forget a line, you just have to keep it going, like unless it's some kind of mistake that can't be, so like say on one of the takes, like the lights went out at the police station. That was something that obviously we couldn't get past, and we had to go back and do the whole thing again. But in terms of remembering lines and things like that, I was worried that I was going to mess everyone up. But then, you get there and you start doing it, and by the time you're actually filming, you've already had 2 weeks of just straight prep and straight rehearsal. So everything's kind of just burned into your brain, and you know exactly what you're doing, exactly what you're saying. The chances of you actually slipping up, it's like minimal, which is something that obviously I was trying to prepare myself for that. But the week coming up to it, I think it was mostly just I was so excited the week coming up to it. And I just kept telling myself, it's like a play. It's like a play. And, if you mess up, you can just carry yourself through because I'm good at that, I guess. But yeah, the week before was intense.
So just like what you said about maybe the lights just turned off, was there like another specific scene or moment that you found particularly challenging to shoot? And how did you overcome those difficulties as a team?
Well, I would probably say for episode 4, kind of the drive to Wainwright's, that had to be very technical because a lot of the times that obviously it was something that we practiced over and over and over again, but we're on a public busy road. And you just like you don't know. I mean, you get in the car, you drive off, you don't know what's going to happen. You've got kind of a set amount of time that you're aiming to get there for to keep the episode going, obviously. But then I remember one time it was like this was just a rehearsal, so it wasn't a take, but it took us like 8 to 10 minutes to get to Wainwright's. It was way longer than it should have been. And I can't remember why it might have been traffic or I don't know, but it took us so much longer. We were recording this rehearsal, I think, because towards the end of the second week, you try to get at least like one recorded run through just to make sure it all works. So we were recording this one, and it took us so much longer to get to Wainwright's. So that meant that the dialogue obviously ran out. Like everything we were supposed to say ran out. So it was like a solid 2 or 3 minutes of just ad-libbing and improving for the rest, like until we got there, which I was like, I mean, because honestly, you just kind of have to, you're still in it. You have to stay in it. You can't stop and be like, oh, like, why are we not there yet? You just have to keep going because it's not like when you're acting it, like as an actor in the scene, that's not your mindset. You're not thinking what's going on, how are we going to get there, how much longer until we get there. You're just thinking, right, I'm in this scene, dialogue is done, keep talking. So the three of us actually managed to do that really easily. Obviously, that one wasn't chosen to be in the episode or anything. But I remember after we finished the episode and there was all like Phil came over to us and he was just talking about like why it took so long to get to Wainwright's and stuff. But then we were all saying, you know what, I think we did really good at that because when you're with such like incredible actors like Christine and Stephen, you just bounce off each other and you can just keep it going. So even though that was like a mistake that made the whole shoot longer, it was like you wouldn't have been able to tell from just the way that everyone kept going. So that was really cool. I actually forgot that happened until you until you brought that up.
Very impressive. So speaking of Steven, how did working with him push you to elevate your own craft?
Something that he would always say to me and Owen and everyone is that acting is like you're looking for the truth, you're finding the truth, and that's what you're performing. Like if there's no truth to what he's doing, like he doesn't want to do it. And he was just really inspirational and patient with everyone because obviously for this to be a first job for children, especially it was a bit of a challenge, but with him there and with everyone else there, they made it so easy and so comfortable. And there would be little things that he did that I kind of took inspiration from. So before a take, like there would just be so say episode 1 starts in the house. Well, we start in the house, but it actually starts down the road. So then when they shout rolling, we've still got a couple minutes before they even get there. So when they shout rolling, it's just like it's complete silence in the house. Nobody's talking. Everyone's in their different spaces. I'm in the bathroom. Steven's upstairs in the bedroom. Owen's in his room. Christine's downstairs. So there's no talking. And then Steven would do this thing where he'd like sit or lie down on the bed and he'd play this kind of just like meditation sort of like music, but everyone could hear it. And I'd just sit, he'd sit and close his eyes and listen to it. And then I'd do the same thing because I could hear it from the bathroom. And everyone would just kind of have their own little moment of silence. But before that silence, he'd go around and speak to everyone, like, fist bumps, we're going to do great, all this. But just kind of that few minutes of silence and peace is something that I have taken on after that. So, like, say for any recalls I've been to, or like just anything where I need to kind of get into the zone for it, that's what I've done. And I did that for I did that for episode 4. I did like he's just he's incredible, and he's so kind and patient and understanding with everyone. And he'll in rehearsals he'll stick with you until you get it right. Like, he doesn't mind doing something over and over and over again with you. Say if you keep forgetting this one particular bit, he'll do it over and over again with you until you get it, and he's just great.
In your opinion, what are some of the key lessons the younger audience should take away from watching Adolescence in relation to the internet and their digital lives?
I think obviously this is a message to younger audiences, but not just that. It's also a message to parents and adults. And I remember saying to when me and Fatima and Hannah and Faye we did a Sunday Times interview, and Fatima said, like, for parents, it's not acceptable to just like not know what's going on anymore. Because you get some parents, oh, I don't understand how social media works. Like, that's not, you need to learn. So for that's for parents. So you just have to, you need to be able to understand what's going on with your kid. And then for the children, I just think, rather than teaching them, rather than saying like, hey, this is what's going to happen if you do this or if you do that, it's more like, look at the possibilities. This has happened, and this does happen, way more than it should. Like, not just in our country, everywhere, all over the world. And it's just something that kids really need to, I think it needs to be like engraved into their brains how brutal the internet can be, because I think children now can be way too desensitized. So I don't really hear that in my year group anymore, but I do hear it in younger years, and they're getting younger and younger and younger. And then if you have issues, you have to talk to people, talk to your parents. Your parents, like, they're your parents. They're there for you. They're there for any issues that you have. Like, if you're being bullied or if you're seeing something on the internet that you don't like or anything like that, you need to be able to talk to your family because they're there for you. That's what they're there for. They're there to take care of you. They're there to protect you. I just think it's something that all kids really need to see, because it's a brutal reality, but it is the reality. And I just think that's a really important message to get out there.
With this serious and deep themes, I would like to think though that you guys had a great and fun time filming this. What's that one memory that just hits different when you reminisce about your time on this show?
So this actually was during episode 2. So I wasn't even filming, but the take that they ended up picking for episode 2 was the take that I got to be there to witness. So me and Owen and Amelia, we all got invited to their last take of episode 2, just so we could all see, like, how it's going, how it works. So then that meant that basically all the kids were together. And that was such a great day, because like production part, like everywhere was so lively and fun. Like, basically all the cast members were there. And it was just great to be able to interact with all of them, because especially the kids. So for me and Owen and Amelia, we don't have any kind of one-on-one interaction with any of the other children in the cast throughout the whole show. And because they're done in episodes, so it's like, say I was there for episode 1 and episode 4, and the rest of the kids weren't there because they were in episode 2. And it was so great. I think they knew that, and it was really great to be able to all come together, because we're all such good friends. And that was a really fun day, and to be able to like sit and watch it all come together was incredible. It was so much fun. And even though it's a devastating episode, it just felt it the whole cast, not just the kids, like everybody in every single episode just feels like family. And that was amazing.
Coming into this project, was there something you were hoping to experience or achieve that turned out differently than what you expected, both in a positive and maybe in a challenging way?
What surprised me the most, I think, was actually how not easy, but the whole one shot take, that was probably the thing that I was like, I hope I do well on this. Obviously, there's always going to be worry about messing everyone up, or I don't know, just being so new to it all, you don't really know what to expect because obviously I had nothing to compare it to. So there weren't really any specific expectations or even worries, but the one shot thing was probably the one thing that I was worried about. But then I think you realize once you get there and you've got everyone working together, everyone knows exactly what they're doing, everyone works together. You spend the first 2 weeks kind of just every single day with all of these people, and they're all so good at what they do, and everyone helps each other out. And it was just like it was fun and it felt easy. By the time you get to the third week, this feels like it's just the regular. You know, you do it twice a day and there's no there's no worries or there's no mess ups because everyone is just in it together and everyone's so invested in it. And that was just something that I realized I had no reason to be worried about it because it was amazing.
Since this podcast is called Once and Always a Fanboy, I'd like to know, what are you currently fangirling or geeking out over? Could be music, a show, food.
Oh my goodness. Oh, right. So something that I'm currently fangirling over is the new Hunger Games book has just come out,
Oh, yes, yes, I've
and
heard.
I've been a Hunger Games fan for like years since I was a kid. I've always loved those books, and then when I learnt that there was going to be a new book and a new film, I was like, I mean, I know I'm 18 now, but I don't care. So I'm gonna go and like order the book, and then I'm probably gonna like read it all in one sitting. And I'm so looking forward to what they do with the movie and all that stuff. That's what I'm currently fangirling over, I think.
So there, that's it. Thank you so much. I just have to say, hearing how you speak and how you're so passionate about this, it's very inspiring to think like you're just starting out, you're just 18. So I can't wait to see more of the stuff that you do in the future. And I wish you all the luck in the world. Hope you have a great rest of your Saturday.
Oh wait, what time is it where you are?
It's 6:21 p.m. So not so bad.
Okay, so have a good evening then.
Thank
I was
you.
gonna say have a good day. Have a good evening.
Take care.